So we finally made it on to phase 3, the last phase we're going to talk about in this series. Honestly, I'm impressed that I got this far. Captain America Civil War is definitely one of the most important and beloved movies in the entire MCU. But I mean, only half of it is good. The bad parts are really fucking boring, and the good parts are absolutely phenomenal. If the entire film was as good as the second half, then this film would be my favourite in the MCU, no contest. But I'm gonna get to that and fangirl over it when it comes up. There's kind of equal bad parts and good parts in this movie, so I'll just start with the bad stuff first, since everyone loves controversial opinions so much. Now, I want to note that none of this stuff necessarily ruins the film, as in it's not so bad that it takes me out of the movie, but there's just a couple things that I think could be changed. First of all, this movie would be 10 times better if Zemo just wasn't in it. This is the 13th film in the MCU, and if we had a film with no villain whatsoever, and had a full movie of the good guys fighting the good guys as the one main plot, how amazing would that be? There's definitely so much for the writers to work off of without Zemo and the Winter Soldier story coming into play. Zemo's plan is to kill the Avengers, not by killing them himself, but to get them to kill each other, which I do admit is a pretty creative concept. But Steve and Tony already have this conflict without him, and it would have been such a much more engaging story without him and the Winter Soldiers involved. Don't get me wrong, definitely keep Bucky because he's an important character to the plot, but we don't need the whole fucking Clone Wars involved. But this is only a problem in the second half of the movie. My problem with the first half is that it's fucking boring. The first time I watched this movie, I turned it off. Do you remember the only other MCU film I've done that with? Yeah. The Dark World. After the first initial scene, it takes such a long time for things to pick up again. Now, there is a part in the film that really just irritates me. When the Avengers are discussing the Sokovia Accords with Ross, because apparently he's still in the MCU. Alright. He's basically just pinning the blame of everything that happened on the Avengers.
New York.
Yeah, thousands upon thousands of aliens invaded New York. There was literally 6 of us at the time. 3 of us didn't even have any powers. You're lucky this didn't even go past Brooklyn. Oh, and by the way, did you forget that you tried to nuke the city as a solution?
Washington, D.C.
A secret Nazi organization infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D., built flying ships with mounted guns loaded to kill millions of people. This one was your fault.
Sokovia.
Okay. Yeah, that one was our fault. I also want to talk about how fucked up this is. Peggy died, and at her own funeral, Steve tries to fuck her niece. Oh yeah, sure, Peggy's dead, so I'll get the next best thing. Let's get a whole family tree while I'm at it. Now, there's really not a lot of things in the MCU that I absolutely despise. There's a lot of dumb shit, as we've covered, but nothing so awful. An example of this is Natasha and Bruce, but I don't need to explain that again. The next thing? Why is Martin Freeman in the MCU? Fucking Bilbo Baggins with an American accent. It's just weird, okay? I'm sorry. I don't need to have a reason behind it. The last thing I want to say, like I said, it isn't something that ruins the film. It's just something that I feel like would have made the film even better, and as a whole, the MCU better. War Machine should have died here. It would have made the movie so much more impacting. Don't get me wrong, I love War Machine, in some ways more than Iron Man. But if he died here, I feel like that could have played in so well with Infinity War, and we'd have such a better connection with Rhodes. Right, so I know I just talked a lot of shit, but in reality, I really fucking love this film. Hey, I just needed a clickbait title. You can go spread hate comments all you want if you think I'm wrong, but I think this is the best directed MCU movie. The reason I love the Captain America movies so much is because they actually feel like a trilogy. The Iron Man movies or the Thor movies don't really connect. The Captain America franchise just has elements that flow from one movie to the next. So it's about time we talked about the good stuff in this movie. Oh my god, Spider-Man! This is by far Black Panther's best movie. Yes, I'm including his own. That one sucks. Ooh, I just made a lot of people mad there. T'Challa is so raw in this movie, I love it. Bucky is framed for killing his father, the King of Wakanda, and all he cares about is not stopping until he murders him. By the end of the movie, he realizes that he needs to stop running at the first sign of revenge. It's a really nice character arc, but one that I think should have lasted until his own movie. Also, Chadwick Boseman is a really good actor. I don't think people realize this. People need to realize it.
Vengeance has consumed you. It's consuming them. I'm done letting it consume me.
He's one of the best characters in the movie, and I'm so happy that he was introduced here and not in his own origin story. Ant-Man is also way better in this than he is in his own movie. His interaction with other heroes is what makes Scott Lang.
Oh, you're gonna have to take this into the shop.
Who's speaking?
It's your conscience. We don't talk a lot these days.
But by far the best character, Spider-Man, of the whole movie, Spider-Man, is Bucky Barnes. He is so unbelievably powerful, not strength-wise, but emotion-wise. This shot right here is my favorite camera shot of the whole MCU. The emotion that is put into this one shot just hits me every time. Even just the lighting and the colors make this a gorgeous moment. Infinity War and Endgame have kind of ruined him. They turned him into just a soldier. But in the Captain America trilogy, he's a human being with one of the most compelling backstories in the whole saga. Okay, fine. We'll talk about Spider-Man now. I don't want to say too much about it because I want to save that for my video on Homecoming, because I have a lot to say about that one. But Tom Holland is doing such a great job. He is easily the best Peter Parker. Yes, fuck Tobey Maguire, the Sam Raimi films are fucking awful, fight me! They introduced Spider-Man in such a unique way, and I never thought I'd see the day where Spider-Man fights Captain America. The fact that I can say that sentence just shows how monumental these films are. One of the final things I just need to talk about is the final fight of the movie.
Do you even remember them? I remember all of them.
I really don't want to talk about this scene too much because I want to make one of those one marvelous scene videos, but this is by far my favorite scene of not just the MCU, probably not even just Marvel, but of all superhero movies. The emotion that goes into this fight is just something that I honestly have never felt with any other movie. I addressed this a lot in my Winter Soldier review, but the choreography of this fight is probably just the best choreographed fight I've ever seen. The lighting is stunning, the soundtrack is perfect, everything just tugs on your heart. Like I said, I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm saving it for another video, but this scene is a 10 out of 10, perfect. So there you have it, the Captain America trilogy is complete. It included my favourite movie in the MCU and the one with the best fight scenes. I still can't begin to describe how this movie makes me feel. If the first 45 minutes were just as good, then this would be in the runnings for one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. 8.1 out of 10. I already said it, but my character of the movie award goes to Bucky. Phase 3 is easily the longest and most dramatic, so if you're enjoying this series so far, hit subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you in the next one.